A little while ago, Gary Sanchez went deep. It's now 7-4, but Texas is still on top in the top of the sixth. And while the Yankees are struggling, the hottest team in baseball right now is the Dodgers. They've won 9 in a row, 15 of their last 16, becoming the first team in the National League to get to 50 wins. Last night, their 16th straight game with a home run, plus they had a 4-0 shutout for Clayton Kershaw.
Like a 42-8 streak where out of 50 games, and it just seems like every night you find a different way to win, and there's just the confidence that you have coming to the field. Like there's no way you're going to lose, and I don't know what our record is in the last 50 games, but it feels like that.
Well, they're just about to get underway in L.A. The Dodgers looking to lower the broom on the Rockies. Underway right now. They're going to the bottom of the ninth in Cleveland. If the Indians don't rally, the Twins are going to take over first place again in the AL Central, leading 4-0 behind Irvin Santana. The Cubs trying to keep pace with the Brewers, are trailing in Miami 4-2. Going to the ninth at Fenway, the Angels up on the Red Sox 3-2. And top of the eighth in Atlanta, the Brewers are blowing out the Braves 7-0. Also bottom 7 in D.C., with the Reds up on the Nats trying to avoid the sweep 6-2. The Mets are going to go for the sweep against the Giants off the field. The Mets have promoted Tim Tebow to single-A high ball. In golf final round of the Travelers, Jordan Spieth is on the course with a 2-shot lead over Boo Weekley at 13 under through 8. I'm Jeff Biggs. This is NBC Sports Radio.
For several years, Kcaa has been marketing the Youngevity brand of nutritional and personal care products. Our experience with Youngevity has been 100% positive, so we are pleased to recommend them to you. Regarding nutritional supplements, we recommend Pollen Burst in the berry flavor and Tangy Tangerine 2.0 in the tablet form. For regularity issues, we recommend 3-Day Cleanse, and for personal care, we recommend Morning Hydration Cream. You can shop online for Youngevity at www.kcaateam.com, or you can order by phone by calling 800-982-3197 and tell customer support that you are part of the Kcaa team. Youngevity is an American company based in San Diego. Call Youngevity at 800-982-3197 and ask about monthly auto ship that allows you to buy Youngevity products at wholesale prices. That number again, 800-982-3197.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Rod Tanner. For this afternoon, we have a heat advisory in effect through 9 p.m. It'll be sunny with a high of 103 with winds to 20 miles an hour. Tonight, it'll be clear with a low of 70. We'll have a sunny Monday with a high of 99 with winds to 25 miles an hour. It'll be clear and breezy Monday night, a low of 65 with winds to 20 miles an hour. Tuesday should be sunny with a high of 94 with a winds to 20 miles an hour. Skies will be clear Tuesday night with a low of 61. Wednesday should be a sunny day with a high of 86. That's your weather forecast for this hour from KCAA, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM. 3-in-1, the trifecta of talk in Southern California.
This is Pastor Greg from Chosen Generation Radio Show, heard right here on KCAA, 1 p.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays. Do any of these sound familiar? Not sleeping well, waking up tired, drinking more coffee than usual, can't stay focused, craving sugary drinks and snacks, feel like you're stuck on a treadmill, having trouble managing your weight, not sick but not firing on all cylinders? Any one of these could mean that you might have a system overload, and Thyroadrenal might just be right for you. Think about it. You've probably been feeling like this for a while. Life has a way of wearing you down, and if you aren't getting the right nutrients, then physical and emotional wear and tear will take its toll. Most of us at some time or another could use some nutritional support for our adrenal and thyroid glands to bring things back in balance. Our bodies respond well to optimal nutrition to keep daily energy levels up and stress levels down. Try Thyroadrenal from Michael's Naturopathic Programs, a nourishing support formula with vitamins, minerals, and herbs to put back what life takes out. Look for Michael's on the label. We're serious about good health. Thyroadrenal is available at leading health food stores nationwide. If you don't see it on the shelf, then ask for it by name. Thyroadrenal.
KCAA.
Swinging drums.
Good afternoon. You're tuned in to another episode of Rockin' Orbit. More feedback. This is
Always
the
exciting.
Inland Empire's premier rockabilly show, the only rockabilly show, right, in the area. Well, at least we'd like to believe. You tuned in to Kcaa Radio. That's 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and 102.3 FM. You can live stream us at kcaaradio.com. Call in. Tell us how we're doing. Say hi to the band. 1-888-909-1050. That's 1-888-909-1050. A new feature we have, we weren't aware of this, but you could actually text in. If you don't want to call and get your name, your number, your voice on the radio, you can text in. You can text the radio station, and we can see it up here on the screen. That's 909-534-5354. That's 909-534-5354. And we can see what you're texting, so please keep it clean. If you have a shocked look on our face, we
No
probably got
sexting. That's Tim's number is 909. No, just kidding.
Contact me direct. So today we have the Honey Drops.
Welcome, you guys.
Hi. You want to introduce yourselves?
Sure. I'm the singer, and my name is Brooke Aston.
I am Rockin' Ramos Santino, drummer.
I'm Ken, the bass player.
Mike Resendez, guitar.
This is the Honey Drops. So before we get in, where can we find your music?
Oh, the best place to find our music is on Reverb Nation, Reverb Nation /the Honey Drops. That's us, and that's where all of our shows are listed, and you can,
our website.
You can also find us at our website, just thehoneydrops.com. Very easy too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I know. I love your logo. That's what I was saying.
I know.
The shirts. You guys have to grab a shirt out there. They're really nice.
Yeah, I was so excited when we got that logo. It's super cute.
Yes, really.
So, you've all been waiting for. We're going to kick it off. We're going to start with the song. So, with no further ado, the Honey Drops.
All right. What are we starting with, boss?
It's an old standard. It's called My Man. We do kind of a Dolly Cooper version of it. Go a little something like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, he may be a man, but he comes to see me sometimes. Yeah, he may be a man, but he comes to see me sometimes. Well, he comes so often, I'm beginning to think he's mine. Well, he's yours and he's mine and he's somebody else's too. Yeah, he's yours and he's mine and he's somebody else's too. Yeah, well, if you don't mind, I'll have him clean away from you. Well, that man rocks me. He rocks me with one steady roll. He rocks me. He rocks me with one steady roll. And when he rocks me, it always satisfies my soul. Go, go, go. Well, if that's your man, you better tie him to your side. Yes, if that's your man, you better tie him to your side. Oh, 'cause if he climbs my tree, I'm sure gonna let him ride. Well, he don't drink or gamble and he don't run around, but when it comes to good loving, he can really go to town. That's the truth, baby. Ooh, I swear I wouldn't lie. If I don't love my baby, gee, I hope to die. Yeah.
Very nice.
There you go.
I love that. So really quick, I just want to say something. I'm looking at your bass, and if you want to turn it around, I see Ray Campy's autograph on that. Very nice.
Yeah, that was from 2 years ago. We opened for him one time. I had my chance.
Yes.
He took it.
That's very
So
nice.
Influenced a little bit by him, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Oh. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little break, and we're going to come back and get into another song and start
So
with
we're
all
gonna
the million of questions we're going to have for you guys.
We're going to play a song by Shonda and the Howlers. They're out of Las Vegas, friends of ours. We love them to death. So they just released an album. And
Very powerful voice she has.
yeah, it's All Right Viva.
And Don the Beachcomber.
Don the Beachcombers, right. So wonderful. So Shonda, this is for you out in Las Vegas. And take it away, Joe.
Keep telling me, honey, baby child, that our love will never die. Keep telling me every time we talk, and you say, don't ask you why. Been around for a little while, long enough to know you fake your smile. Keep telling me, keep on telling me, keep on telling me. You keep thinking that I won't find out what you're doing late at night. But I saw you in a bar downtown with a girl right by your side. She looked a little bit like me. She ain't seen the things I've seen. Keep telling me, keep on telling me, keep on telling me. Keep telling me that you're gonna change and you ain't the same no more. I see you doing everything today that you did the day before. I'm not your little lamb. Hurt me twice, I'm gonna bite your hand. Keep telling me, keep on telling me, keep on telling me. Keep begging me to take you back and give you one more try. Well, I've had enough of waiting around and hearing all your lies. So tonight you'll be all alone. Think of me while you sit at home. Keep telling me, keep on telling me, keep on telling me. Come on, tell me, keep on telling me, keep on telling me. Go on, tell me, keep on telling me, keep on telling me.
Feel the tension boiling straight across the room, making me remember all the terrible things that I can't undo. When did seclusion turn into a bad disease? I wanna go, but these freaks won't let me be. Been stuck in a padded room with no one to annoy me. Sitting out alone where I can make up my own stories. Last second is all, and I wanna see the world outside anymore. crowd. People with dumb intentions on their mind. So do something good for a change. Go learn something stupid!
All right.
And
We
we're
are
back. So we would just want to say that last song that you heard, that was Stupid Visions by the Calling Kings, and they will be our next band coming up on our show. So stay tuned definitely on July 9th for our Sunday show on that. And also, Tim, you had Beatle Tim over here, I like to call him, just told me an interesting fact, which you'd like to share with us?
I always wiggle the Beatles into everything. So today is the 50th anniversary that the Beatles played All You Need Is Love live in front of 400 million people. So that was a real pinnacle time and a big moment in the history of music.
And we pretty much always quote that, all we need is love.
Right.
So
And
it's a
coffee.
good little, and coffee. No, don't. We won't go there about your coffee again, Tim.
Jenna doesn't like good coffee.
No, I don't. I like cheap stuff. Give me AM PM. I'm telling you, AM PM, some French vanilla coffee. This guy takes me to. Now, I'm not bashing. The shop is very wonderful. Nice staff.
He complimented me on my beard oil.
It throws me off when I walk in. It's like he has this coffee and like tap, and I was feeling like I should have ordered a cold beer.
Right. It's good. It's good. She even Snapchatted it on the way.
Because he has a Snap card. He's like loyal, faithful.
I actually have a card for the place. Look, I mean, something's got to keep us going.
He just likes it because the men love him in there. They complimented him on his beard oil.
Yeah, he said, that's nice beard oil. I went, okay.
That's why it's called Lift. It lifts your spirits up every morning.
Every morning we feel good about ourselves with those compliments. Take away the beard oil and I'm nothing.
No wonder you have that gallon of beard oil in your car
I
you
know,
carry.
right?
There
Right.
it is. So anyhow, let's get back to you guys. What song will you be playing next for us, and the reason why you're choosing this song?
Oh yeah, well we're gonna play. We're gonna take you to church on a Sunday here.
Nice.
We're gonna sing "Saved." We like to help the sinners out on Saturday nights with this
Including
one,
us.
including ourselves.
Yes.
But since it's Sunday afternoon, we figure we'll save you a trip. We'll take you to church.
There you go.
There we go. Honey drops.
The honey
Play
drops.
me a pitch. Ready?
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
I used to smoke. I used to drink. I used to smoke, drink, and dance a hoochie coo. I used to smoke and drink, and dance a hoochie coo. Oh yeah, but now I'm standing on this corner, praying for me and you. Oh yeah, because I'm saved. I'm saved. People, let me tell you about a kingdom of you know I'm saved. I'm saved. I could preach until you're deaf and dumb. I'm in that soul saving army, burning all
I just want to say you have a beautiful voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think you just saved Tim over there.
I think, thank you. Yeah, we used to cuss too, but our sound guy Joe, he helps us out, right?
He's
Joe?
our savior. Thank
Our
you, Joe.
savior. Shout out to Shorty Jetson. He must have cursed like 30 times during that one show.
I think you might have only heard our.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Good old European flavor out there.
Right?
They don't have as much censorship out there.
Yeah, they don't.
No,
they're a little more
they
liberal
don't.
out there.
No, their commercials are just wow.
Yeah. So where are you guys playing coming up? I know it's kind of like the.
We usually play. We have some monthly gigs at the Anaheim Packing House out in OC. We're kind of from the OC, so that's where a lot of our gigs are usually at. But we'll play anywhere. But I think our next one is July 8th, actually, Saturday night at the Anaheim Packing House in Anaheim. That one's all ages too. It's a really cool place.
Oh, that's
bunch
nice.
of, it's like a big, huge, like foodie mall, basically.
Right. Yeah, it's a
we
foodie
just kind of
mall.
like play right in the middle. It's just a bunch of different food places to eat, and what's cool about it is it's all ages. Like people can bring their families and kids and whatnot. So. Not too rowdy, but there are plenty of bars for all the adults.
You might even
and air conditioning most of the time.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, exactly. We can actually
Not
bring
our
our
kids
children out instead of the middle of the night as usual.
exactly.
We also play Stubbricks in Fullerton. It's a cool, like little steakhouse place. We usually play there once a month. We
That's
play there
nice.
on the 21st, and then the 28th of July, we play at the La Habra Moose Lodge, which is my favorite because I like the old man bars, and I'm a personal member of the La Habra
Do you have like a
Moose
little
Lodge.
handshake to get in there? Like,
Do you wear like the Grand Poop, the Grand Poobah?
Yeah, you have all that. Sticker knock to get in.
That's right. It's like the water buffaloes.
Yes, that's awesome.
awesome.
I love those.
It's old school.
It's a shameful thing.
It's Sunday. It's Sunday.
We're gonna go back to that number. We're saved again after
Yeah,
this.
exactly. Hence, that's why we had to play that last song.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh,
But yeah, no, it's a cool spot. It's older folks. It's kind of like, I mean, all these are kind of like out of the scene, which is, I mean, we like playing for the rockabilly scene, which is always nice too, because people, they know the songs or appreciate or just kind of a little bit into it. But the other stuff out of the scene kind of stuff, I don't know. I feel like it's almost like a little history lesson when we go out there and play. Sometimes people are like, "What is that? I've never heard of that song." Or we always go up and people want to hear like Motown. I mean, I love Motown and stuff like that too. But we start playing things that usually not normal people that usually listen to this type of music are really familiar with. But they're like, "That sounds familiar." Maybe I kind of reminds me of when I used to hang out with my dad or things like that. So it's kind of cool.
Exactly, and just like you guys were saying, the Anaheim Packing House. Just a little bit of a fact about myself and some history. I'm from Orange County, from Anaheim. My grandfather was actually a chemist for the Sunkist Orange House, which was right where you guys were at. So he was a chemist there for many years until he retired and packed up and moved back west. So I know he frequents that a lot. He's 93. Hi, Grandpa. And he's out there dancing. So he appreciates it. Like he's just like, So that's what I'm saying. We're talking about music. We like to play something that we haven't heard in a while, or.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I always, encounter this. Like, so we talk about people in the scene and people that are kind of out of the scene, maybe at the Moose Lodge or whatever.
Right.
How people who were actually there when some of this music was popular, they don't really know it because maybe they weren't into it then. It's kind of gone. It's such an old memory. But it's the younger folks who have revived this whole scene that they're like they know all the little 45s and they know who did it and what year. So. That's the reason why we do this show, right, folks? So this is why we do it, is we want to keep the scene alive, too, right? And we appreciate you guys doing your thing to keep the scene alive. And for you, the viewer and listener, that, keeps it alive. And, so we thank you.
Yeah.
You guys.
We love it.
Yeah,
Thank you guys for the public service here.
Hey.
You guys are helping and doing it yourselves, bringing all the talent together and coming in and
doing what we can,
helping everybody out.
It's all in a day's work, man.
Yeah, because it's fun. It's so rewarding to sit here, and to us, it's like a personal, private little set. We're privileged and honored for you guys to be here, and we have all these bands that come on, and it's just like, and when we leave here, it's like, oh, look at this, or you got to watch it, or stay tuned, or just to go. We try to, as much as we can, Tim and I try to get out to go, and you will see us try to go out and support you guys and encourage for others to go out there. And that's great, Packing House, all ages, because we do have kids, and I know you're a mama. This woman is Superwoman. I'm just telling you. She was just telling me the ages of her children and what else you do, and I'm just like, wow.
I'm pretty busy. I like it that way.
There you go. So let's talk about influences for a moment. who are some of the people that influence you guys? We usually go around the table here, so I don't know if we want to start with you. I don't know if you want to.
Let's go to Mikey. Mikey's an interesting person.
All right. I've been playing guitar. I'm 36. I've been playing guitar maybe like since I was about 16. And first started hearing early blues, like Muddy Waters, early chess records, like 50s blues. And then I started hearing like Hendrix, started listening to that stuff. And then started playing guitar more and more. And just started falling in love with blues, started really liking blues. Then I went backwards. Then I started going way back to like the 20s, you know, and then 30s, and then working my way back up again.
Right.
You know, listening to just different, you know, music and listening to what did this guy get that from? You know, that was certain riff or whatever. You know, he got it from this guy, and then keep going back. You know.
That's true. That's right. It's
just did a whole history of, you know, music, American music. Right. So.
You can hear it in your playing, Mikey.
You hear the playing. You hear a lot of Robert Johnson.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's what it is, right? So people talk about, like, I'm just going to throw out today's music because I think it's no good. But go back a little bit further, you know, even like the 60s stuff, you know, the Yardbirds and the Beatles and the Stones stuff, where they get it from. Well, they got it from Muddy Waters. Where did Muddy Waters get it from? Well, he got it from Robert Johnson.
Keep going back, you know.
Further and further. But it all goes back to the blues, right?
Yeah.
1, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5, 3 chords. It's all the same.
That's all you need.
Yeah. Better rock and roll songs always come back to the blues.
Right. Right. And then what about you, sir?
With me, I mean, I've been kind of listening to music obviously forever, but I started off playing trumpet actually just as a kid. So I used to listen to like just a lot of big band actually when I was a kid, like the Glenn Miller, we were just talking about all the big band, different orchestras and whatnot, and then started getting into like jazz, Miles Davis and the John Coltrane's and the Sonny Williams and all that kind of stuff as I got older, and then started playing drums. And drums are really intricate as you start getting into all that stuff. As you get into, you know, the music and you go further, even back and forwards. And so I took lessons for a while because I used to like in the 90s, I used to like all those swing bands. And, you know, the 90s had a good little revival of music. I'm 37, so that was kind of like my time right around there, listening to all those tunes. But like even like we played with Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, and Royal Crown was always like the best one to me. So I was always idolizing like Danny Glass, and then I took lessons from him for a good little amount, and then he kind of moved, and I got busy and ran out of money, and
that goes.
But yeah, I mean, Royal Crown's always been like one of my favorite like newer bands. But I mean, as far as just like they did, you know, you go backwards in history, and even with lessons with him, I mean, we would just talk about where drums would come from, and then that was what was cool about him as a teacher. He would just go back and teach a history as he kind of went along.
Right.
But
and you have you have the distinct honor of being a second-time guest, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I was last year with the Outlaw Daddies. I also play, and that's my rockabilly trio. This is a little different. I kind of created this group. I was playing with a different group before, and then I just kind of wanted to play more rhythm and blues. That's just kind of what my groove is. Yeah, exactly. This is kind of what my deal is, and then that was kind of like a thing with the other band that I was in before. Do we want to play rockabilly? Do we want to play rhythm and blues? I always thought we could do it all, but I was like, all right, well, I'm going to start with rhythm and blues, and then we'll kind of go a different way from there. And then so with the other band, I can play more straight ahead rockabilly. With this, I can get this my jollies out here with all this.
Right. There you go.
What about you, Ken?
What about me? Okay, well, I'm 55, so I feel like the old guy, I guess. But I really started playing in bands in the early 90s when I think there was the blues started getting really popular back then. So I did some gigs with some guys back then, and we lasted about 5 years. All bands last about 5 years.
Right.
And then everybody goes and gets
Except
another
for the
band.
Stones.
So I'm influenced by all kinds of music, so it's hard to say one because there's so much out there. And I'm kind of just, right now I'm really focusing on maybe like jazz, more jazz stuff, American standard, working that into some of my playing, so it's a little more sophisticated than 1, 4, 5.
Right.
Nice.
So, but this band has been really good. We've had a lot of fun so far playing. You know?
Thank you, Ken.
Thanks. Thanks, Santino.
Yeah, the testimony.
So I guess it's my turn. I'm not going to say how old I am. And congratulations to all of you. So I think with this, when I was thinking about getting into bands and things like that, what was really beautiful when Santino and I met was that this style of music, you know, lends itself to my voice. Like you were saying, contemporary music, you just get this really thin sound.
Right.
And this style of music just seems to really suit kind of the sound that I have, which I love. And then I get to play around with, you know, my man sounds a lot different than Saved. But with this band, I really love singing all the Etta James stuff. And that was the first time I really kind of had my eyes open to the music of the 50s, you know, as opposed to, I knew a lot about, I'm a musical theater nerd, so I knew a lot about jazz standards and I knew a lot about contemporary musical theater, but the first time someone kind of said, hey, look at this, Etta James music, was when I thought, wow, this kind of fun blues rock and roll crossover really appeals to me, and it's really fun for me to sing, and it's challenging in a way that is fulfilling, you know. So it's not simple, it's not easy for me, but it also, I feel like I can do it justice. So I really like singing that. I really like singing the Little Richard stuff, just because it's fun, you know, to jump around. I remember I was 7 months pregnant at one of our gigs, and Santino said, "What are you doing? Why are you running around? Just stand there. Just stand there." I said, "There's no way I can just stand there."
It's in your soul. Music is in your soul. Are you guys going to do any covers of Etta James or Little Richard? Are you guys all do an original? I mean, the old standards?
Not today.
Yeah, we didn't bring any Etta James or Little Richard, of course, because
It's okay.
I mentioned them.
Of course not.
Sorry to put you on the spot. I apologize.
We got plenty for you, though.
Yeah, we got
All
some.
right.
appreciate that.
We can take you into another song and.
Sure, we'll do our original.
Yeah, why not? We'll do one of our songs.
All right,
One of
nice.
our originals.
Okay.
This is written by our Rockin' Ramos.
The Honey Drops. Rockin' Orbit Radio.
Keep an eye out for him.
Hey, Papa, I sure wanna come back home. Hey, Papa, I sure wanna come back home. I've been thinking about you, baby, since you left me all alone. Hey, Papa, well, you left me sad and blue. Hey, Papa, well, you left me sad and blue. If you take me back now, honey, I think we can start anew. Since you left me, baby, wishing all alone, wishing you would call me, waiting by my phone. We would always argue, and I don't know why, 'cause I'm your only girl, and you know you're my only guy. Hey, Papa, I sure wanna treat you right. If you take me back now, baby, let's not ever fuss or fight.
Go, Mikey.
when you would call me, waiting by my phone. We would always argue, and I don't know why. 'Cause I'm your only girl, and you know you're my only guy. Hey, Papa, I sure wanna treat you right. If you take me back now, baby, let's not ever fuss or fight. If you take me back now, baby, let's not ever fuss or fight. Yeah. If you take me back now, baby, let's not ever fuss or fight.
Suitable ending. Suitable
Yes.
ending.
Words to live by.
I was,
Words to live
I was wondering where you were going with that at the end, and then I
Yeah.
started hearing the walk
Was that
down.
a
I'm like,
subliminal
oh,
message?
that's where they're going with that.
Subliminal
Okay.
message? Okay.
That's cool. Yeah, bring it on home. That's good stuff. Yeah, I like the way you guys mix things. I mean, from the last song, the call and response, and then now you're doing like it's just.
Try to bring
yeah,
a little
man, it's,
diversity.
it's very eclectic. I like it. I like it. It's familiar yet refreshing.
Oh,
know
thank
what I
you,
mean?
thank you,
So,
man.
Yeah, that's what people usually say. Like my friend brought her dad to see us once, and he said, "It's just like when I first moved to this country. Like all this music that I love so much." So
Yeah.
we do try to keep everybody happy.
It's good. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. So this is my favorite part of the show when we talk about instruments. So. I
was gonna say, well, I have this
no,
fancy.
well, yeah, I think Santino brought his
SPL.
Yeah, it's a 2012.
Yeah. That's right.
It's the Toys R Us.
Mattel version.
Actually, it did come from Guitar Center. Technically, this is actually my son's kit, but
That's your son's kid.
That's cute.
Go ahead and call in
he
and
ran it into
complain to
him.
your dad about taking your drums.
Ran it into me for the day.
Dad, you see my drums? You see my drums?
Don't touch my drum set.
No, that's the first thing Santino said to me. When he walked in, he's like, "I got my son's drums." So that's the first thing he said. Not even hi. It's like, "I got my son's drums." Okay? He's like, "You don't have to justify anything."
Exactly. Just to let you know.
He's a phenomenal drummer.
Everybody
so
comes in with all this classic, awesome vintage gear.
Right.
I come in with my SPL.
But that just
junior
shows how
drum
good
set.
you are. I
Yes,
mean, you
that
can make
you can-
pots and pans sound good.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, the circa 2015.
That's right.
Yeah, vintage.
It's classic mahogany.
Plywood.
Exactly. Classic plywood.
All good drums are.
Yeah, true. So, on the day besides your afternoon with Rockin' Orbit Radio, what do you usually play on your
I
drums?
usually have. Actually, I don't have a vintage kit. I ended up getting it's like a Pearl Masters kit. It is a nice maple kit.
Sure.
I do like the way newer drums kind of like can. I play a lot, so it kind of can take the abuse a little bit more than if I did get an older kit, I'd probably just leave it at home because I wouldn't want to scratch it or mess it up or anything like that. But it's a great sounding kit. I just kind of made it look, a little bit, used the powdered white heads and then just kind of gave it a vintage sound. I mean, you can make any kit if you know how to play drums, sound, or how to work with, not even play drums, just know how to work with drums.
Pitch it.
To pitch it, make it sound a certain way depending on what kind of music you're playing and whatnot. But it actually works out great. It's a nice gold sparkle too, so it kind of has that classic look too.
That's
so.
cool.
But no, I dig my kit. And then just a Gretsch, or actually this is my Ludwig piccolo snare right here. I also have a Gretsch snare that I need to bring out more often. I mean, I got a bunch of stuff. I usually use this guy, just it kind of suits the music a little bit better. It's not too loud.
Right.
It's got a little bit more pop, but not like the punk rock sound,
Sure.
just kind of like a lighter. It's got a light sound, but just enough pop for it, for this type of music.
I think 95% of the listeners, either drums are pretty or they're not pretty. That's all I
Yes.
know. Like, wow, those are pretty. But, but this is a 1958 Ludwig set. Well, it's not pretty, so.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
Gold
This is
sparkles.
awesome.
Oh, yeah. Right, the music. So. And how about you, sir? I see that nice bass you're standing there with.
Yeah, it's a 1940K.
1940K.
My dad bought it in the 60s
Nice.
for $25.
Nice.
Wow.
Believe it or not, and it's been refinished. But And when I was a kid, I actually had the bass follow me, and I cracked the neck.
Oh.
He almost killed me.
Yeah.
But it got glued, and it's been great ever since. I had it set up numerous times, and I'm just getting into gut strings. So
Yeah.
I got the G and the D on there. I'm going to go with the A and the E next. I don't know. Yeah, that's
it's a big change.
It's a lot easier on the hands.
Right.
So
Didn't you say when you found this, it was like it was just nailed up to a barn somewhere?
it was nailed in. It was bought in Ohio and was nailed inside of a barn.
Wow.
So yeah.
Jeez.
It's crazy. Yeah, and it was pretty bad shape, but these Ks are built pretty well. You know, they're construction-wise, they're pretty solid, and they sound good too. You know, for this style of music, for any style really. If you know how to play,
Sure.
you can get away with it.
Yeah, I'd say of all the vintage basses that come through the show, I'd say about 85% of them are Ks. A lot of they're real nice.
60,000 basses or something.
Right.
A lot of them, for all for universities, colleges, everything.
Right. I've held a lot of basses and stand-up basses, and some cheap, some expensive. But the most heaviest one I ever held was from the Outlaw Daddy's Gill.
Oh yeah.
His blue one.
Yeah.
Is like
it's like a king bass.
It's a king bass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like a truck.
Yeah. Exactly.
But there I am playing my Made in Mexico bass, and then I hold Gill's bass, and I almost broke my arm. So. Good. Thank you.
All right. You, Mr. Goldtop.
Oh man. So I play Gibson Les Paul Gold Top with P90s. It was made in the year 2000.
It's somewhat vintage to some of our
Y2K.
listeners.
I guess we made it, right?
Yeah.
Everybody thought the world was gonna end. Yeah. Yeah. Every once in a while, Gibson, I guess, reissues these kind of like original vintage like specifications. This is a 1954 like replica.
Yeah. That's like what Carl Perkins played, I believe. It's something similar to that. I think he played P90s.
Cool.
Could be wrong.
For this music, it's perfect. It sounds really good.
Yeah, I used to play in like other blues bands before, and Mikey used to play in like every blues band before, and that's where I'd seen him play, and I was like, oh, he's got like that perfect sound. I like hunted him down when I was starting this band.
And what amp? I see you have a little Fender.
I just got a little Fender Blues Junior today. But normally I play a Fender ProSonic. Just 210 L2. Like it's me like in the 90s, maybe early 90s.
That's cool. Yeah, last week we had the Crown City Bombers on, and the guitar player had a 58 Gretsch, a real 58 Gretsch.
Yeah, no,
he was playing behind me, and I'm just watching in the monitor here, and I was just watching his guitar the whole time.
Yeah,
and then after the show, I got to hold it. So on my IG,
It was
I'm
like
holding
the,
that
it was
picture.
like the holy
You're
grail.
like, I'm actually holding a real
I'm actually
one.
holding it
It was
because
the
there's a
Holy
door
Grail
right there, and I
guitars,
thought if
yeah.
I just run, I could probably run to my car and get out of here. In time. But I forgot the doors are locked. But
Yeah, that was
He looks
really
fast, though.
nice.
yeah,
He
runs fast.
You know what? Those are surprisingly affordable, though.
He-
They're not like runaway prices on Fenders. and
Right.
stuff. The Gretches are
Right.
not too bad. You know?
Couple G's, couple thousand, right, for you guitar
Maybe a
players?
little more, but,
Yeah.
but you consider that age of a Fender.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Fenders are ridiculous.
Yeah,
And a Stratocaster, to me, a Stratocaster is a Stratocaster is a Stratocaster. That's just my opinion. But
It's
yeah.
original from Fender Factory.
Right. But it goes to 11. Yeah. And what about you?
Oh, give me an
What
SM58.
what kind of what kind
kind
of
of
vocal cords?
range?
What kind of vocal cords do you
No.
like to use?
My vocal cords are the kind that are in my body. No, I like I said, I've been singing forever and have some classical training, and I think it's cool. Again, I think for this style of music, having the legit training has really helped, but also coming from the musical theater background and there not being that many parts for me, I had to learn really quick to do different genres and
Right.
to learn to pick up on things quickly from each genre. Well, if you're singing jazz, they do this. If you're singing blues, you change your vowel shapes. I also teach voice.
Nice.
You change your vowel shapes, you add a little growl. So for me, what's been really helpful, and my brother helped me with that a lot. My brother has this crazy ear; he can imitate anybody. That what's been really helpful is just listening to people in the style, and then picking up on just 2 or 3 things from each style that I can add in to make it sound like really authentic. So I
Right.
try.
I hear it. I definitely
Yes.
hear it. I can hear the little
The,
tidbits.
yes. Well, that's what you're saying because you've been in musical theater how long?
Oh gosh, I started doing musicals in 6th grade.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I won't say how long.
Oh, yeah.
20 years ago.
Yes,
20 years ago
20
today.
years
Yeah.
ago
It's been about 20 years
today.
ago.
Yeah.
It's only been 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, so forever, but yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, because I can hear it in your different, with each different song. I'm just like, oh, I'm loving the sound and how you just put that in there. So
Thank
yeah.
you.
And the band's wonderful too. You guys are
thank
great.
you.
You guys are
Yeah.
awesome. We appreciate. Speaking of different styles, Jenna, let's talk about last night. So we went to.
Fuss and Holler out in the American Legion in Bell Gardens, which once Eddie Cochran once played practice and played some shows out there. So it was hotter than all heck, but I think we, that's good though for us because I think we're on this diet, so we kind of slimmed off a few pounds. But it was very great because it was actually a chance for everybody to come together. It was just a record hop. So we had Tommy Ingram out there. We had DJ Satoshi, Nova, and I know I'm forgetting one, but Nova. So I got them all. But it was so great because also too they have their different styles of music. So you have one that's more R&B, and we got more of the rockabilly and the jiving and all that. So it was great to see everybody out there. A lot of the bands, Rhythm Rockets, Patina was out there, and some others. Los Apaches,
Knockout
Eddie.
Kings?
Exactly. There was various bands out there, so it was just good to everybody to come together, let loose, and have a good time.
Right.
But man,
We talk about different styles. I mean, it's interesting how they were playing blocks of jivers, and they'll play a block of boppers, and then they'll play a block of strollers.
Yes, and what I learned from that was, and their learning from that was, I learned the reason why they do that is because when you're jiving away and you're just dancing, then you need that moment. So then they'll throw on a stroller and get your heart rate down, get the, they level it out. So there's a medical science to that, and then that's why they're saying, we do a block this, and then you have to, because you have to get a chance to breathe.
110 degrees in there, but we made it.
They instead of a taco stand or something, they should have a fan stand.
Make a fortune out there.
So thank you to the Boston Shake Up for those flyers out there.
Yeah, those are good.
Not only a great show in September, but also it helped us cool down.
Right.
So yeah, we appreciate it. And then you saw a band on Friday.
Who did I see on Friday?
Moonlight Trio.
Oh, the Moonlight Trio. Yeah.
Aaron, I remembered neighbor. I remembered Aaron.
Yeah, sorry, Aaron Al. We went out to Santa Fe Springs and we checked them out. They're going to be doing a show later on this year that we're going to attend. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yes, there is going to be a show up in Sanger, California, Khalifa Fest. It's a social club and car club out there to the girls and men. Hello. They're having a big Khalifa Fest. It's 2 days. Moonlight Trio will be up there performing, and we will be up there, Rockin' Orbit Radio Show. So we'll be doing some fun things out there. So stay tuned for that. Nice. And really quick, just before we get into a song, I do want to make sure we thank our sponsors, Atomic Swag, Trigger Happy Cosmetics, Wild Darling Photography, and also the Native Country out there. Yep. So hello to all you guys, and thank you so much for supporting us.
Right. Water is life.
Water. Oh yeah, I taught water life because I speak my language, and Mini Wachoni, which does mean water is life. So people out there at the Bomb Car Show in Long Beach, and Stevie out in Pechanga, happy birthday! You guys are having a show with the Centuries out there as well. Stay hydrated and cool. Yeah.
Do you folks want to give any shout outs to anybody?
Yes.
You have the mics.
I always have to send my shout out to Little Puppet and Gasper.
Art LeBeau here.
Cry now, smile later.
No, my kids always. My kids, my wife. My poor wife, she's holding down the kids all the time while I run around and playing music and doing all this. Can't do this without her, obviously. And Alan. Shout out to Alan.
He's shouting out to my husband.
Yeah, I'm
Perfect.
shouting out to her husband because I'm always pulling this. Yeah, this woman away from her poor husband to come play. Come play music and come play songs for pennies.
Yeah. I'm saving my pennies. Yeah. Yeah, I'll definitely shout out again. He stole my shout out.
That was more personal for me, right?
Yeah, right. I will definitely shout out to my husband who holds down the fort all the time for me, which is just so wonderful, and it's just so nice to have somebody who is excited about me getting to do what I love to do. And then, of course, again, mentioning my parents and my brother who have always been into music, always got me into music, and my brother for teaching me how to sing pop music.
Nice.
Mikey?
I see Emilio and Sabina are watching. My nephews. Hi, Sabina. Hi, Emilio.
Hi. Yay.
And my family, obviously, my wife.
Your wife, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Whew, get it
We-
in
Wait,
there.
she got that
we
one
don't
in.
want you to sleep on the
couch could be a
couch.
lonely
No couch
place.
city.
The couch
I
sucks.
got no one watching.
They're all listening.
Well, I'll be able to replay it, though, right?
Yes,
So
you
my
definitely
wife might
will.
be able to watch it.
There we
Listen
go.
Anyways, so hello, Karen.
Aw, that's
There
my
you
mom's
go.
name. Good name.
There you go. So yeah, for you viewers out there or listeners, you can go on kcaaradio.com a couple hours after the show, and you can rewatch the show. There's it looks like a YouTube screen. When you turn on the YouTube videos,
Yeah.
it's on the top right of the corner of the page. Right above it, it says watch previous shows or watch.
And you can share
You
it.
can you can click that and look for Rockin' Orbit Radio. You can watch it. You can share it. You can do whatever you want with it.
I was like, what else? What are the other options?
You can stomp it. You can hack it. I don't know. What else can you do with it? I don't know.
I was like,
Bop it. I don't know. What's that little game?
Yeah,
Twist
remember?
it. Bop it. Twist it. You can do whatever you want with it. I'm saying. You can do whatever you want. We don't discriminate.
Yes. And also, too, we just want to let everybody know we will be moving soon.
We are moving.
So we will be relocating to Redlands. And,
Physically leaving.
I think
San
it's at the
Bernardino.
Tri-City
I want to say Tri-City.
area
it's
complex
something.
We'll get that down in the address.
Yeah.
We will be, but that's something that will be happening soon.
We don't.
So
We don't actually get the locations because Jenna's stalkers will show
yes,
up.
because my Canadian
Your
stalker,
Canadian stalker
you
will show
know,
up. Everybody will show up. Hey. She has nice shirts.
Yes, and we do want to thank Boogie
Boogie.
for our Sunday squad for having us, because without him, this wouldn't all be possible. So, and we want to thank you guys also as well coming on to the show. You
So
guys
happy to
are
be
always welcome.
So this is our second show of the new Rockin' Orbit.
Yes.
So we want to thank you guys for you listening and watching. We appreciate the support. I put on my Facebook page about how by sharing us and getting more people to like us, it creates awareness, which adds numbers. You add numbers, you can get more sponsors, and the more sponsors we have, the more we can do for you guys, right? So I've mentioned many times, we don't make any money off this. This is something we do out of a labor of love, that we love the scene, we love the music, we love the dance, we love everything about it. So we encourage you to share us and tell your friends and tell your grandma, tell whoever you want, but we really appreciate the support, folks.
Yes, we do.
And
Good things will come out, because we will be having the show July 8th, is it? Rattle Shake Stampede at the
Rattle Chop
March Air
Stampede.
Force Base. So we will have our booth out there, and that's going to be pretty exciting, and some other fun stuff up ahead. So if you want to...
So we have 4 minutes left. We can either try to fit a 3-minute song in there, or we can talk a little more.
We'll do Mercy.
Yeah, we can do a
Mercy.
We can do
All
a
right,
quick one.
let's-
Okay.
The Honey Drops.
Honey Drops, Rockin' Orbit Radio.
Since this is a rockabilly radio show, we'll try and play some rockabilly.
We appreciate
here.
it. We appreciate it.
Old Colin Kids tune. I'm sure y'all recognize it. Ready? One, two, 3. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3.
My baby is a rare kind. He really sends chills up my spine. My baby loves me, yes indeed. My baby is the one for me. Mercy, what my baby does to me, yeah. Mercy, what my baby does to me. When my baby he embraces me, he sure don't know what he does to me. When he whispers that he loves me so, he makes my heart go, go, go. Mercy, what my baby does to me, yeah. Mercy, what my baby does to me. Oh, mercy me.
Yes, mercy. It's 106 out there. I'm just looking at my phone.
It's terrible. Hey, just an update. The dog that we found last week.
Oh, yes.
In front of the show, they named it Orbit. They named it Orbit after the radio
Yes.
show. He's doing well. He's being pampered. He has his own bed. I've seen him.
Like his outfit.
Yeah, he's
and
being dressed.
So thank you to Crown City Bombers for, yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
He's being well fed.
Yes,
went from,
thank you for Crown City Bomber for adopting him, and he's very
A
lovable.
little update for you who are listening. Real quickly, we have 1 minute left. I'm getting snaps and I'm getting messages saying that you guys are great. You guys are wonderful. Love the voice. Love the music.
Thank y'all.
Shout out to Vetty out in Oregon. She sent me a message. And
Very nice.
Listening in Oregon from around the world, all around.
Hello,
Thank you.
hello.
Okay, well, that's it. Another episode of Rockin' Orbit Radio.
Yes, definitely stay tuned. Once again, thank you guys, and please check out the Honey Drops, Anaheim Packing House. When again?
Starbucks in Fullerton, or want to get crazy
Oh, yes.
with the La Habra Moose?
Yes, there we go.
Check it out, website.
Check the website out, please.
Honeydrops.com.
Yes, and we can find you guys on Facebook as well, correct?
Yes.
Yes. All your social medias.
Next week we have.
Next week will be surprise. It might just be us or a band that's coming in. So we're going to try to see. And then if not, we're going to have July 9th Calling Kings and then so forth. So we have a lot of good things.
Okay,
coming
well, thank
ahead.
you very much, guys. Tune in next week, 1 o'clock, Rockin' Orbit Radio.
Thank you.
Thank you.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292 FQ Riverside, and K293 CF Moreno Valley.
Sports Radio update starts now.
Some rare air for Jordan. I'm Jeff Biggs, and not a big deal like a major, but in the PGA today, Jordan